Hey guys, welcome back. So today I am finally doing something that I have been waiting for quite a long time. Longer than I've even got the thing in my hand. Because if you watch my previous video, you'll know what I'm talking about. But if you haven't, here's the surprise, but in a little more dramatic way. So this year was the year 2023 where I found Anne Liang's books. Now, the only reason I found these books are thanks to my wonderful friend, Annette. I'm hoping she doesn't mind I say her name here. But yeah, and it's all thanks to her I found Miss Anne's books, and I am ever so grateful for that fact because I would have missed out on such a wonderful author if not for her. And I've read both her books, If You Could See the Sun and This Time It's Real. And If You Could See the Sun was definitely a 5-star read for me because it was such good writing, but it was not my favorite book of hers. And then that changes when I read This Time It's Real by her, which released this year, and I read it right after my board exams got over. And oh my god, I loved that book because Eliza and me, we're soulmates, okay? We're like the soul sisters. We're made from the same cloth. And it was so wonderful seeing a character same like me, like it's exact same, like to the T, we're the same. And it was so wonderful seeing a character like that in a book that I just fell in love with her books and Miss Anne herself. And so imagine when she says that she's releasing many more books in the coming years, and one of the first books she's going to be releasing next year in 2024 is I Hope This Doesn't Find You. Now, when this first came out, I didn't really know much about it because I was on an Instagram hiatus, so I didn't really know if the blurb came out or the cover came out. I didn't realize. And then so when I came back, I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so pretty. I really need to get my hands on this somehow. And that's also the time when I started getting requesting for arcs. And damn, I will never ever forget how painful it is to get rejected by Edelweiss every 5 seconds. And so I gave up hope middle way through, okay? But maybe it was because it is Miss Anne, I don't know. So a few weeks ago, she put out her, a survey link, form link, where we could fill up our details for the ARCs sign up, and I signed up for it. And I didn't really have much hope because it was Edelweiss, okay? We can't really trust that thing. But wait, I'll give you the full dramatic effect. So that's not how that happened. So I signed up for it, I forgot about it, and then I'd signed up for a lot of stuff on Edelweiss as well. And for the past 1 week, every single mail I get from there is a rejection. Okay, you've been declined by this publisher for this book, this. I was like, oh, wonderful. And so imagine my surprise when I'm sitting in the living room with my iPad in my hand, and then a new notification comes up, and I'm like, who is this? Edelweiss, wonderful. Which book am I getting rejected for? I look at him like, I hope this doesn't find you. I'm like, I got rejected? And then I look once again and I'm like, wait, your book is ready to read now. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? And I couldn't process. I was like, nah, this is a joke. And then I didn't really actually open it. And then a few hours later, I actually went and opened my email for another purpose, and I saw this and I was like, wait, this was actually real? I wasn't imagining it up. And I started freaking the hell out. But yeah, and that's how I got this in my hand. Look at this book. Look at this cover. You can't say anything to this cover, okay? From the typography to the art, it's perfection, okay? This is perfection in a book. And when I got this in my hand, I literally put it on my Instagram stories that this is a masterpiece. I know it, we know it. We're just waiting to read and just prove it once again. And that's exactly what happened. Which is something I'll tell you in the review, but yeah. It was so good. And I'd only read a few chapters at this point, but this is really good. It starts off in typical Miss Anne, fashion, and it starts off with humor. So yeah, follow along as I try to finish reading this book. As I as this book tries to finish me. That's what's gonna happen. Because I'm only a few chapters in and I already know I'm going to get demolished by this one. So, I'm back and I want to do a lot of things. I want to cry, I want to scream, I want to like shake Miss Anne. I want to ask her, how could you do this? Because I will actually start bawling at some point of this review. If I don't, please appreciate my emotional resistance, because it's a very hard thing for me to do, but whatever. And oof, this book, it will tear you apart, shred you, make you into atom-sized pieces, and then fix you completely perfectly well. She'll heal you at the end, but she'll also tear you apart into shreds, because I just got shredded. I felt whatever that is, because I hope my facial expressions explain what I'm trying to say, but I can't, because the more I think about it, the more I fall in love with this book. And if it wasn't obvious, this book is amazing. This is a masterpiece, just like I said it would be. And Miss Anne has done it once again. Okay, she has done it. Okay, again and again and again. And this is so good. Okay. Sadie. Okay, Sadie. Okay. Okay. So, let's start off with what's amazing about this book. Wait, amazing? Everything's amazing, but like, you know, for formality's sake, let's just go with it. So, first off, let's start with her writing. Miss Anne's writing is impeccable, okay? It's amazing, it's fabulous, it's every other synonym into the universe, because you don't even feel like you're reading. At this point, it's like watching a C-drama. It's like you have the book with you, but it feels like you're watching it. Because the way she writes, it's like you know, like when you are outside, like a summer breeze. It's like a summer breeze because when you're out and like that wind that slowly comes and like gives you like, oh, okay, this is so satisfying, that kind of feeling. Because she doesn't do any over the top explanation, but it's so to the point that you literally are in there with them. At some point you're like, maybe I'm a little too in there because it feels like you're intruding on a private moment. And that was so good and the way she writes her character. Now here we have Sadie and Julius, and you can't help but fall in love because that's how well written her characters are. The way each character, from the side characters to the main characters, you find an emotional bond with each and every one that you just can't help but fall in love all over again, okay? Like, this is amazing, the way she writes, because if you read, when you read the book, you'll see what I'm talking about, because so our Sadie here is a people pleaser, okay? Chronic people pleaser. She can't help it. And while I'm not a chronic people pleaser, I do have similar tendencies. That is the need to be liked by everyone I meet. And it's painful. And when she shows that in the book, I'm like, you didn't have to call me out so badly, okay? Like, she literally, it's, you know, when she writes her books, you feel like you see yourself in the book, and that's the biggest positive, the biggest plus, whatever you want to call it. Because when you read her books, you feel seen, you feel like seen to an extent that you might want to be like, oh shit, she sees so much, it's a little too much. She it's like when Taylor Swift releases new songs and it's like everyone can relate to it, that kind of thing. So we can call her the Taylor Swift of the book industry, I don't know, but like it's so good because you feel seen. Like, no matter who you are, we will find something or the other to relate to these characters, and that is amazing because I don't know how she does that. I want to be a writer, and I aspire, yes, that's the word, I aspire to be of this level of amazing because I don't know how to do it. I just don't. Okay, so we told about her writing, now the characters as well. Therapy. Yes, why am I calling it therapy? The point is called therapy because this book, like I said earlier, is a form of therapy, okay? You will literally start introspecting so much, you'll be like, oh, and you will start questioning everything and anything. That's how much, because of how well written this book is. It's like therapy in book form, but at the same time it might be the reason you'll have to go to therapy. So it's very messy, but it's amazing because it also heals you. That's another thing. But by the time the book ends, somehow she herself has the medicine inside. She's the one who's causing us pain, but at the same time she will put the band-aid as well there. Actual band-aid, proper closure, everything, and it's so nice because I love it, okay? Even though it's a little painful, it's amazing. And then we have, so we told about, I'm trying to remember, okay? I didn't make a list of things to say in the review because yeah, so that is 1, 2, 3, what else? Yes, okay, I totally forgot to mention this. Okay, so this book is an academic rivals to lovers, right? And Miss Anne has outdid herself because this is peak academic rivals to lovers. Like, the banter, it's so good. It's like pure gold, okay? If you go through my the PDF they gave me to like read and review, literally every single one of their interactions I've highlighted, like this. Just don't try to read it, but like, yeah, I have so many. I tried to make an edit for my Bookstagram, and oh my god, it was so hard just picking 6 pieces of lines from this and then also keep it spoiler free. Like, that was so much of pressure, but oh my gosh, there is so many. This one, this is not an EPUB, so I cannot count how many I've actually highlighted, but there are a lot of them in here. And their interactions, oh my gosh, like at certain instances I really felt like it really gave me like Maid Sama vibes. Like if you've read Maid Sama and loved Usui Takumi and Aizawa Misaki, if you love them, you will definitely love Sadie and Julius, because this is like the Chinese version of them, but the school is in Australia. So yeah, it's really good. Like, because at times I'm like wondering, does Julius also come from like an alien planet like Usui? Like, do they have this alien planet where such fictional guys exist? Where do they come from? Where is this imaginary planet exist? Where do these guys come from? Miss Anne, where did you find him? It's amazing how she comes up with these wonderful male leads. Like, I don't know, we just can't help but fall in love. And then okay, and this made my Desi little heart a little too happy when there was this one particular instance, scene, situation, whatever, where it gave me major Jab We Met vibes. Like, I can't say it. If I tell what scene from Jab We Met it is, you will get an inkling of what the scene was. But it's a very fan favorite, you could say. It's a very satisfying moment to see, both in the movie and in this book. Okay, so if you have watched that movie, I think you'll like this little tidbit. I just got that and I was so happy. Like, oh, this feels like a reference. So yeah, that's another thing. And then, so we talked about the annotations there. This one, Academic Rivals Lovers, amazing. This is peak. So if we have to rank, if I ever do a video about like ranking books by their tropes or something, this is their number one in Academic Rivals to Lovers. Like, they just ate this trope, okay? This is their trope. There can be a million other people, but this is them and their trope. Academic Rivals to Lovers is there. Sadie and Julius. And the romance, okay. It's so well written, because now when you start off, I'm someone who literally shuts down her brain at least like by 75% when I read a book, okay? So when the book starts, you literally see how much of hatred Sadie has towards Julius. So when, even though I know he is the male lead, he's the love interest, I'm like, I hate you. She hates you, so I also hate you. Whatever she says, I do. Okay, that's kind of the personality I have. So but as the book goes out, I warmed up as much as Sadie's warming up to him. And then at some point I was like, even though Sadie was like kind of, in denial, I was like, darling, just open your eyes and look, he's literally in love with you. It was so adorable seeing the way they fight every few seconds. Like, literally their interactions, pure gold. Like, if I could, I would frame them on these walls. Like, I would literally print out the entire book and just stick them on the walls, because that's how wonderful they are. Okay, plot. Did I say about the plot? Did I? No, I don't think so. So if you did not read the synopsis, here it is. I've been blabbering for God knows how long without telling you what happens in the book, at least to a certain extent. So yeah, you have to see her character development as well. Wow, I forgot to mention character development. Wow, so wow, amazing, mind-blowing. I forgot to mention that. See, this is why I'm mad. This is why I'm mad. I forgot to mention that. So, very important information, her character development. Not only hers, his as well. Okay, they both have a wonderful character development. Because in the beginning, she cannot help but say yes to everyone, okay? And the only person she says no is to, you guessed it, him. Julius gone. But, so that is her in the beginning. And him in the beginning is literally, I hate her. I will literally do anything to hate her. But in actuality, he's in love with her. Yeah, you heard me right. And so the character development is also there. For him, I can't say much without spoiling it even further. For her, she learns to slowly let go of that people pleasing. This one, it's not like at the end she's cured of it. No, she still has those tendencies, but she's learned to let go of the hold other people's opinions have on her, and that's such a beautiful moment because that is the healing arc I was talking about. See, I mentioned it somehow, but I didn't really mention it, properly out loud. So yeah, that character arc is so beautiful to see that healing. That's why I said it tears you apart, but again fixes you at the end. So this book is literally dedicated to every people pleaser out there. So to everyone who finds themselves pleasing others, putting others before themselves, this is a reminder. This book is a reminder for you to gain back that and to let go of other people's opinions to at least a certain extent. And yeah, so after God knows how long I've ranted at this point, yeah, so that's my review. And if it wasn't obvious, this is another 5 stars from me, because Liang's books deserve nothing but 5 stars. Honestly, if there was a way to say infinity out of 5, I would do that, because this is infinity out of 5, definitely. So you all should pre-order it and count down the days for February 2024, because this comes out on February 2024. I think 13th or 12th. I forgot the date. I'll put it up for you all to see, but yeah. So yeah, that's practically it for this video. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you liked the review, and tell me what your opinions are on Miss Anne and her books. Have you read any of her books? Do you like them? Comment down below. So yeah, that's it. Bye bye.